The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, welcome to the program. How are you? Good to be with you. Let's spend a half an hour together. Okay? Let's talk about things that they don't talk about on other things. You know, the things that bother us. I can't get into that because there's just too many things. Ron, what bothers you? Oh, I do not have time to go through all of that. I'm sorry. And there's no short way of getting through that. So let's not go there. I was, as you probably know, for 30 years, I've been doing broadcast radio, and then I started podcasting and all that kind of stuff. And on my daily program, which I wish you would listen to, I mean, seriously, it's ronvandam.com or it's newenglandbroadcasting.com. You can just search Ron Van Dam Show on Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Audible, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Pandora Music, Joey's Delicatessen and Livery, all those places. I'm everywhere. I'm omniscient. You know what I mean? But on my daily radio show, the second part of the program, I monologue in the beginning like I do here for 30 minutes, but the second half of the program, I interview people. And whenever I interview an author, I'm always fascinated by the fact that they can take things from their brain, whether it be real or fictional, and transpose it into words in an interesting manner. And I thought, you know, everybody should write a book. But not many people are capable of doing that, either because they can't tolerate the experience or they're just not good at taking their thoughts and putting it in writing. Most people I know can't even take their thoughts and put it into talking, so I don't know how that would happen. So I did an interview with a gentleman that wrote 23 books. Holy crap, that's a lot. Including about 10 screenplays on top of that. Had many of his books made into movies. Very, very successful. Has a knack for doing that. And I said to him, hey, babe. I didn't call him hey, babe, but I felt like saying, hey, babe, do you think anybody can write a book? And he said, yes, but not a good one. I said, okay, fine. And then I thought, you know, as I get older, and I'm a little bit older than I was yesterday. As I get older, wouldn't it be great to go back in time and read the emotions and the impressions I had of things all throughout my life? What a wonderful experience that would be. I know that young girls often do that. I don't think they do that anymore. I really don't know much about this. But if you kept a diary, which, by the way, if you turn the letters around, it's keeping a dairy, which is so much different. But a diary, it's amazing when that I comes before the A. Unbelievable what happens. Wouldn't it be great to just go back there and see what your impressions were at 10 years old of something that happened? I went to dance school today, and it was horrible. Mrs. Anderson yelled at me. And she's not nice. Yeah, huh? Yeah. I love to eat roast beef, but I can't tolerate it because of the carbs. That kind of thing. Wouldn't it be something to go back in time and get your impressions and your feelings and your thoughts? There's no other way to know. I do that now. I have an appointment book because I do a lot of stuff. So I put things down in the appointment book, my appointments, but I also, at the bottom of the page, I make little notations about what happened good during that day or what event took place that affected me in some way. So I'm kind of like diary-ish. Wait a minute, that's not right, is it? if you write in a diary and you get into diaries, are you diarrhea-ish? I think you are. I've misused that word for the longest time. I suggest if you have children, stop. I suggest if you have children to suggest to them that they start a diary and tell them no one will see it but you. When you get older someday, and hopefully you will, it will be invaluable to you, both to get to know yourself, how you developed, your thoughts. Fascinating. And it's about you. How can that be boring? Who else would care? Nobody. It's fascinating to me when people read other people's diaries like what difference does that make? am I in it? Am I in the diary? That's all you care about, not the other stuff. Am I in it? Did she mention me? That's all you care about, because that's what we are as human beings. We only care about ourselves. Political candidates, entrepreneurs, business owners, family members, you, me, we only care about ourselves. Or we should care about ourselves more than we should care about the other people down the line. We do care about other people, certainly within your own family. Beyond that, not so much. Although we make believe that we do. Joe, how you doing? Oh, fine. Yesterday I went to the supermarket. They were all out of the meatloaf, and I love their meatloaf. They put the little onions in them and sometimes some vegetables, and the slice is really thin. I get the gluten-free gravy because it's got a little less sodium in it. Joe, shut up! I don't care! Let's be honest. Okay, let's move on. Yesterday I went to the movies. I saw a movie called Conclave. And before I saw the movie, I had to look it up, and because I'm not a real religious guy at all, so I didn't know what conclave meant. I thought it was a kind of lens that you have in your glasses or something. And that's concave, not conclave. Okay, sure. And I found out it has to do with picking a pope. We're picking a pope today. The pope in the movie passes away, and they have to find a new pope, and they elect the pope in a very similar manner as politics in a way, and it's kind of weird. It's a very good movie. I do suggest you see it if you haven't seen it. It'll probably be on HBO or one of those streaming things someday. Right now, I think it's in theaters, depending on when you're listening to this or watching this. But it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I find it fascinating. I'm not into religion at all. I think religions are cults. If it keeps you in line, it makes you happy and gives you hope and gives you prayer and gives you direction, beautiful, beautiful. But to me, it's just a group of people with similar beliefs. Anyway, so the movie, but I did enjoy the movie. Here's what happened, though. I'm sitting in the movie theater, and it was in a town called Randolph, Massachusetts, a sleepy little town. Are you familiar with it? Randolph, Massachusetts. It's south of Boston, north of Sydney, Australia. I really don't know. It's up there. It's up there. You get on the road, you get on the highway, it's up there. So I'm sitting in a seat, and you have to, in this movie theater, you pick out your seat ahead of time, which I think is great, because whatever. So I pick out my seat. There are other people in the movie theater there, apparently, because they had their seats picked out already. They give you a little seating chart, on the screen, on the computer thing. So I chose a seat that was away from everybody else. Because I don't want to go to the movies with strangers that I don't know, who are annoying to me. I'm annoyed by people who aren't in movie theaters, much less those that are in them. So I pick out this seat. I get there. I sit in the seat. It's wonderful. There's nobody. The seat's around me. Nobody's sitting there. Movie starts. All of a sudden, this couple comes in. I don't know how old they are because it was dark, but I think they were on the older side. And they sit like one chair away from me. There's me, empty chair, and then these two people. And my immediate thought was, oh, crap. Should I move? No. It's all right. It's a movie theater, Ron. There are other people on the planet. Get used to it. Just sit there and shut up. Well, the problem is that they didn't sit there and shut up. As soon as the old guy sat down, he breaks out a bag of popcorn. Now, I didn't know that popcorn came in bags anymore, but apparently this guy brought his own popcorn in a bag. Cheap. I mean, good idea if you want to save money, because popcorn's very expensive in those tubs, but, cheap. So he's sitting there. He opens up the bag, and through most of the movie, I'm hearing this. I'm hearing the crinkling. I'm hearing this continually, and I'm hearing this. And he has to take a sip of water every once in a while because it's popcorn, and his esophagus is starting to deteriorate. So he has to have water every once in a while, and that's loud. And then his wife or someone sitting next to him has some type of a condition where she makes this noise like every 30, 40 seconds. Sounds like this. I don't know what the hell was going on with her. I don't know which organ was causing that, but it was annoying. Okay, I feel bad for them because they are trying to deal with their conditions, but they're sitting like one seat away from me in a movie theater. I paid money to watch the film. Now I'm next to a human experiment of annoyance. Don't get me wrong. I like people where they belong. But when I'm not in the mood for them, they shouldn't be near me. This happens to me when I go for lunch at a bar. I don't sit at a table by myself in a restaurant, because then everybody turns around and goes, "Oh, look, isn't that sad? Look at that poor son of a bitch." Nobody's sitting with, that lonely little schmuck, that individually rankus, individual, horrible entity. So I don't like that. So I go to the bar where you sit, individually. I went to this one restaurant. I won't say where it is. It's in the town of Easton, Massachusetts. Now, are you familiar with this town? That's all right. So I'm sitting there at the bar, and I'm the only one there. And this particular bar has about 15 or 20 seats around the bar. It's a good-sized bar. I sit all the way at one end, figuring that if more people come in, they'll sit over there. I know if I walked into a bar and there were a lot of people, I would choose a seat that was furthest away from the rest of the people. I mean, I don't know if everybody does that. That's what I do. So I'm sitting there. You've got to get the picture. I'm sitting there at the bar all the way at the end. There's 15 or 20 seats all the way down and around that are completely vacant. This couple comes in. I don't know who's with these couples. This couple comes in, and they walk toward the bar. And I'm thinking, all right, they got plenty of seats. I'm not worried about this. Guess where they sit? Almost right next to me. There's me. Empty chair, 20 other seats. They take the next chair after the empty chair. And I felt like turning to them and saying, "The hell's wrong with you?" But I didn't do that because you're not supposed to. And even the bartender looked at me like, "What the hell's this?" I don't know. And they sat there. And I did not enjoy my lunch accordingly. I was just so curious. Why are you sitting near me when all those other chairs are totally vacant at the bar? Why have you chosen this? I started thinking, because I had nothing else to do, and this was very, very annoying. They were nice people, I suppose. I don't know them. Maybe they were people who feel like they must be socialized in all situations. Oh, we can't come into a bar and sit all the way over there where there's no people. We want to sit next to as many people as possible because I like to be around people. What are you talking about? What's wrong with you? Do I look like the kind of guy that invites people? I don't know. I forgot to turn my cell phone off. Let it ring. I don't care. Am I the kind of guy? Do I look like that? Do I look like the kind of guy that with his arms open saying, come sit near me, surround me. I need humans around me in order to exist. I don't know who I am. I have no identity in comparison to other people who must be near me at all times. Come to me, people, and embrace me and feel my aura and my love, notwithstanding your brilliance and your choice to be near me. No, I don't think I exude that. I don't think I exude warmth much. So I don't understand what was up with these people. I realize that I have no ability to tolerate. I don't. I just don't. If I seem like I'm tolerating something, it's that you're reading me wrong or I'm making believe that I do, but I don't. I feel the same way about overtime. I don't like overtime. I don't like sporting events that get into overtime. Many people think, oh, overtime, that's exciting. Anybody can win at any moment. This is exciting now. It's like do or die. It's like this 2-3 hours that I was watching was pointless because now anything can happen. I don't like overtime because you have just gone beyond what I had agreed to go to. I agreed to myself to sit down and watch this sporting event, and then it was over, I would leave. Now you're extending my stay. I didn't ask for that. You could have wrapped this up. But no, now I got to sit here for another 5-10 minutes at least. No, I don't enjoy overtime. When I was going to school, especially college, they would have a professor, so to speak. I don't know, it's probably a guy that just graduated 10 minutes earlier. They'd have somebody in front of the classroom talking about stuff. And in the classroom, there were probably about like 50, 60 people. There were huge classes where I went to. Went to New York University, School of Film and Television. And I thought it'd be interesting, but it wasn't. The greatest education was getting out into the field and actually doing it. Sitting in a classroom, not so much at all. So anyway, so I'm sitting in the classroom, and the professor says, "Well, our time is up, but before we let you go and have a life, not sitting on your ass listening to me talk, are there any questions?" And then I would look around the room, and there were always like 2 or 3, usually women, sometimes men, who would start asking questions. "Oh, no, don't do this." "Yeah, I have a question. In the social part of the existential lifestyle of the rodent, does that play into the circumferential situation of the diary and the diuretics? Does that mean that there's circumstances to each and every action that is a reaction?" "Well, that's a very good question, Marcia. Let me explain that for the next hour and a half." No, don't do that. I don't like overtime. I don't like things extended. When I go to a party, a cocktail party or a business function, I always ask, what time is this going to be over? I always do. And I know it sounds like I don't want to be there, but it's more than sounds like I don't want to be there, because I actually probably don't. But even if I did, I still want to know when this will be over. And then when it gets to the time when it's supposed to be over, but it isn't, we're into overtime. I did not bargain for that. I did not agree to that. I signed no contracts. You gave me a false impression that the thing ended at a specific time, and now it's not ending. I don't like overtime. I abhor it. I'm a busy man. I have a lot to do. Now you're getting into free time. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't get into the free time. Last thing I wanted to talk about today, in our last 10 minutes of our gathering here. How are you, by the way? How are you doing? You know, I sit here and I talk incessantly for half an hour, and I don't really involve you much, do I? Do you want to have a conversation? Let's do it, okay? How are you? How was your day yesterday? How was your day? What did you do? Uh-huh. Really? Why? Are you kidding me? What the hell? Did you see the doctor about that? Oh, how often do you have to apply it? Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Will it clear up eventually on its own, or do you have to do this? Oh, I didn't know that's how you apply that. That's got to be painful. It is, huh? Yeah. That's crazy. How did you get that condition? Oh, seriously? Don't you know you can't do it that way? That is crazy. What are you, a contortionist? I guess it was worth it, huh? Oh, wow, man. Yeah, well, I'm sorry you're on that medication. I hope it does clear up. I know exactly what you... I know. I know I've never had that. No. No one ever gave that to me. Well, I hope the medication works. That's all I can say. But thanks for having this conversation with me. I didn't want to appear to be just talking about myself. So I had conversation with you. Through that whole conversation, you were telling me about this problem that you have. I don't really care. It doesn't affect me in any way. No way whatsoever. But even if it did, I don't care. But it was a good story. I'm sorry you're going through that. I really am. It's not like I'm sorry, like it's my fault. But I mean, I feel bad for you that you're going through that right now. And I would say I hope that you come out on the other side okay, but I don't really care, to be honest with you. Okay. All right. Here's the other thing I want to talk about. I went to a craft fair yesterday. No, it wasn't yesterday. It was 2 weeks ago. It was at, they call it the pasture there. It's in Easton, Massachusetts. Again, do you know where Easton is? Nice place. Nice, a lot of trees. They had this fall fest thing, and they had a lot of vendors and tables and tents over them and stuff like that. A little gust of wind and it would have taken like half the place out. But it was a nice day, and there was this person selling jars of honey. And I thought, okay, that's nice. And I said, how much is a jar of honey? And he said, it's $10. And I said, wow, okay, that's okay. Well, thank you. And I started walking away. And she said, well, I'll tell you what, how about $8? I said, I don't know. Well, how about, I'll give it to you for $5. I said, okay. I hate that. Because if I had said, oh, it's $10, okay, here's $10, thank you, I would have spent too much money, whereas if I just started walking away, I can get it cheaper. And I realized this is the way I must live now. Not because I choose, I'd rather just pay whatever the price is. But if you're going to be the kind of person where I can negotiate price with you, bring it on. And this is why I hate buying cars. I hate leasing cars. I hate buying cars, anything to do with cars whatsoever. I have an acquaintance who actually sells cars. Nice guy, but I'm sorry. I can't. I just can't. The last car I bought, it's a funny story. I went into the dealership, and this guy, he gives me the price. I don't remember what the price of the car was. I think it was like $40,000 or something. And I said, all right, I got to keep looking around. I'm going to look in a couple of other places. And I started to walk out. There's your key. Start to walk out. Always start to walk out. Never say, oh, okay, that's a good price. Never say it. Even if it is a good price, start to walk out. 9 times out of 10, 19 times out of 20 times, the salesperson will stop you and go, oh, wait a minute. How about if, are you a veteran? No, but I have a dog and I know a veterinarian. No. Did you serve in the military? Like what? Were you in the military? No, I just told you I was not. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, we'll see what we can do there. Well, I'm going to look in other places. I'll see you. No, wait a minute. Wait, come back. Let me go speak to my manager. What? Yeah, my manager. He's behind that curtain there. Okay. And the salesperson goes behind the curtain, and you see him like punching the curtain like he's talking to somebody. There's no sales manager there. And about 30 seconds later, he comes on and goes, I just spoke to my manager. I'll tell you what we can do. We're going to give you, we'll bring it down to $38,000. Oh, I appreciate that, but I that's just too much for me. I'm going to go somewhere else. And wait a minute, come on. Let me tell you. As soon as you walked in, what's your name again? Ron. As soon as you walked in, Bob, I said to myself, I like him. I like him. He's got a kind face. You remind me of my cousin Joe. You look just like him, Bob. Ron. Okay, Bob. And I like you. This doesn't happen much. When someone comes in, I don't really have much feelings about them, but I like you. I'd like to hold you close to me. I'd like my sister to start dating you. I really like you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. And I only do this for people that I like. But as soon as you walked in, I said, oh, my God, I like him. He is so likable. Little did he know, you're not talking to the right guy as far as that's concerned. I am not likable. It's far from it, man. You are handing me such a bowl of crap, I can't believe it. But I'm going to play with you, man. I'm going to play with you. I got a couple of minutes to play with you. Says, I'll tell you what, I like your face and I like your legs and I think you're a real detriment to society. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna bring it down to $35,000. Wow, from $40,000 to $35,000. Yep. No, I can't. I had 30 in mind, but I can't. Oh, I can't do 30. That would be like 25%. This car is worth like $60,000. All right, I can't, Bob. I just can't do this. I said, all right, well, I'll let you know, but I'm just going to look down the road. I got one down the road that I'm pretty much. Oh, wait, come back. You want to get in the car and drive it? Because if you get in the car and drive it, I know you're going to fall in love with it because I really like you. So now I don't really have time to drive it, and I don't want to drive it because it's too much money anyway. I can't. Okay. Come back. I have a personal relationship with Jesus, and I'm going to see if he can bring the price down. All right, look, that's ridiculous. My point to you is, in those situations, never take the price that they offer you. Then you're paying too much. Always make believe you're leaving. And that's why I actually do leave. So there you go. Thank you for being with me today. I'll be back again next week with another episode right here. But until then, you can join me every weekday on NewEnglandBroadcasting.com, RonVanDam.com. And until next time, I wish you peace.